Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Grassroots to Glory football podcast. The football podcast covering the world's game from the local pitch to the global stage. This is the inaugural episode, so I am Ben, and I'll let my co-host introduce himself.
See, you just said a word. I have no idea what that means, but I'm
Inaugural.
yeah, that's a good start.
It means first.
Okay, I am Jack. Yeah, I suppose that's.
Yeah,
this is exactly what the people need. Another podcast about football of people that have no idea what they're talking about.
There's a fair few of them. We are no experts by any means, but
speak for yourself, mate.
Yeah, I know everything, and anything I say is right. Anyone that disagrees with me, don't.
My opinions are final. I am the oracle, so you know.
I look forward to some of these nonsense. But who are we? I guess obviously Ben and Jack. We are related. We are cousins. We've known each other since pretty much day one. And one of the consistents is that we've both been into football for a long, long time, and decided we've kind of dabbled in podcasts before. And we kind of decided, you know what? Why don't we make a podcast so that people can listen to us ramble about absolute nonsense every week, and we'll see how it goes. So that's pretty much why we're here. I guess we kind of started it for that reason. What do we want to get out of this? What are we planning to cover?
Money, innit? No, I'm joking.
Cash.
Well, I suppose the idea is that obviously most podcasts, if not all football podcasts nowadays, are just the high tier Championship, Premier League, Champions League. You know, all the bigger leagues, so to speak. So the idea is that we sort of touch over every league that we possibly can, just because, you know, being football fans, you know, we watch most games of most leagues and stuff. So it just, I don't know, it just feels like we should talk about them and give our opinions and, you know, try and provide some insight, so to speak.
Yeah,
whether that'll happen or not is
undoubtedly no, but
no, you know,
we're going to give it a good go.
It's a dangerous game, isn't it? Entering the territory of football fans. You know, it's a hostile environment if you're on the end of a pummeling or whatever. So, but you know, it's all fun and games.
Here, got the stab vest, got the helmet. I'm ready to be battered by anyone in the comments. But I think that was for me. Obviously, we've kind of got two different backgrounds into football. I'm a very, very non-league driven fan. Chelmsford City fan here. That's my local town where I'm from. Come and find me if you wish. And I've basically been going pretty much home and away for a long time now. I follow them across the country. Never seen us be promoted, only relegated, so that's good start. But that's pretty much where I come in. My kind of first forte before that, so that's been going on since I was maybe 10, 11. Realistically, some of my first memories of going to football games in Chelmsford are with some of my school friends, one of which you know. And we were going in school just on the occasional weekend. That was our first kind of dabble we'd do. Wouldn't be going home and away, obviously. Back then we were like 10. But we were doing the odd game here and there, and that kind of spiraled. And now we're pretty much home and away every game, and have been for years. I've seen some actual heartbreaks, but I've also seen some really good times. So that's where I've started. Before that, was sort of in and about football. Went to the odd game. So my uncle, on my dad's side, lived in Manchester for a long time. He moved away from Bristol, where they're originally from, and he started going to a lot of Manchester United games. So that was really the first team I ever got introduced to. So he'd take me and my dad to games. He would get me jerseys and stuff. So that was probably the first team I really ever kind of thought, yeah, these are cool. But yeah, it's not really a team I necessarily support. I'm a Southern boy. I'm not from Manchester. I don't tend to obviously go to games up there anymore. So no, not really a support, but really the first team I kind of got introduced to. So that's kind of my story. What about you?
Mine's a lot shorter than that, if I'm honest. To be honest with you, growing up, I wasn't really a big football fan. I think um, I sort of, dabbled. I'm talking, sort of watching Thierry Henry light up the
Yeah.
Arsenal and all that sort of stuff, and I never really was that bothered. I'd play football at school and nothing, nothing like proper. It was always, on the field or whatever, and I'm sat in defence because I'm overweight and lazy, and so it was never really a thing that I was overly interested in until I want to say 2003, 2004 ish, that I sort of was like, actually, I quite like this game of 22 men running around in shorts and kicking a ball, and you know,
I knew that. Men in shorts.
yeah, well, you know me, I watch the important stuff. Do you know
Married
what I mean?
man who likes men in shorts.
Hey, look, listen, all right. There's nothing wrong with
Each to their
looking,
own.
you know.
Window shopping and all that.
Yeah, I can look as long as I don't touch. My wife isn't going to divorce me. But yeah, it was sort of, and oddly enough, the player, and this is kind of your fault, really, actually. So,
Hello.
obviously, growing up, Man United fan, and I always, because we've been close, I was thinking, oh, what could I do to really irritate? I'm going to look at Man City, right? They were crap at the time. So we're talking, what, 04, 05 would probably be my earliest memory, and I fell in love with Sean Wright Phillips. And then, oddly enough, the next season he then left to go to Chelsea. But besides the point, I'd say that was sort of when I started to get into it. I mean, obviously they were crap, and I mean, I think that season they finished 8th, I think it was. It's not the City we know now, but that would be, well,
8th is decent for Man City back then.
true. No, that's
Probably would have
true.
been relegated.
Yeah, that was sort of, still playing Middlesbrough and all that sort of stuff, and
8-1.
yeah,
2007,
okay.
I think that was.
Yeah, I think so. Still, because Stuart Pearce took over from Keegan, didn't he?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'd say that is my earliest. So more recently, obviously, still following City, but my team of choice at the moment locally would be the Big Jammers, the mighty Jammers lads. They've had
No one's gonna know who they are.
okay, Malden and Chiptree FC. They are
they are
what?
the step 4 of non-league,
Yeah.
or
They're,
tier, what is that, tier 8?
something like that. It's good crack, like it's not glamorous, but it's a good atmosphere. It's, from the games that I've been to as of recently, on a half decent run in the FA Cup at the moment. It's good fun, and that's what I look for in football. I think I'd, as long as if I going, I'm not a huge match goer, but I think every time I've gone, I enjoy it, and I do like to go to, like, I wouldn't say I'm a Chelmsford fan, but when it comes to cup games, I tend to sort of latch on, and we went to was it Barnet, home and away
3 seasons ago in round 1.
Didn't end well, but it was fantastic. Do you know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah.
It's that's my football story. I don't really have anything glamorous, unfortunately. It's just, I think that happens to be, especially nowadays, how people fall in love with football is they have a player that if they haven't, because my dad's not a football fan. He claims to be a Southend fan, but he's not really a football fan.
Yeah.
So I've not grown up around football fans. So for me, it was always, you find a player. I think nowadays people that look at like Ronaldo, Messi,
Yeah.
and they go, oh, I support, probably I suppose Ronaldo at the time would have been Man United. Like, that probably was a reason why a lot of people supported Man United as well, like younger kids, if they're not from football,
Yeah.
families, and that's how I suppose become a begrudged City fan. So I want the record to be known that I supported them before they took over. And oddly enough, if they get charged with a 115, I'm still going to support them because people at work always go, "Oh, so you're going to support Chelsea next?" It doesn't quite work like that. But yeah,
He's one of them.
he's one of them. He's going to jump.
You talk about players that kind of made you love the game. Mark Haynes, Chelmsford City, let's go. No one's going to know who he is. No. Absolutely never made it past non-league, but there you go. So yeah, that's kind of, I guess, our stories into football. Some moments, I guess, that we can kind of talk about. Mm-hmm. One for me, I think the most painful one for me was, I believe it's the 16-17 season. I'd been to a lot of Chelmsford City games. Funnily enough, Mark Haynes was actually playing in this game as well. As Sean Jeffers was he's another big non-league player that played for Chelmsford at the time. Playoff final against Ebbsfleet United. We were genuinely good that year. The squad we had, if you know non-league, you will probably know some of these players. One of them is actually still he's our assistant coach these days, Mickey Spillane. Was playing for us back then. So we were at Ebbsfleet. They had an absolute shocker for the first, I don't know, it must have been 70 minutes of the game. We were 1-0 up. Ebbsfleet had 10 men. We were flying. And then about 75 minutes in, Dave Winfield, who eventually became our captain, if you know who he is, he's like 6'5", huge, massive. Absolute brick
legs of a goddess.
Yeah, honestly, huge. Tree trunks, like a massive geezer. He scored. We went 1-1, and we thought, okay, well, this ain't good. I've seen our team bottle it enough times to know that this is not a good sign. And then about 2 minutes later, they went and scored again and ended our season. We didn't go up, and since then we have been a kind of mix. To be fair, we've hovered around like 9th to almost getting relegated, I believe, in 2021. It was the season after COVID, when kind of football opened up again. I know it did in top leagues, but in non-league they didn't like restart unless it was really low down. So like there was a few of us. I'm a bit of a ground hopper as well, so I like going and just ticking random grounds and wherever. I've done a few abroad. So in recent times, FC Copenhagen in Denmark. In a Europa Conference League game, where like despite them getting it's about 25k, I think, average attendance, the atmosphere was unbelievable. I've done Malaga in Spain. I have done a few in Northern Ireland as well. Mm-hmm. That's kind of my dabble in I guess ground hopping. So you can often find me just across the country. If I'm not following Chelmsford, I will be at a game somewhere, very likely. I guess, do you have any particular moments?
Ops are going to get you, bruv.
The Ops, yeah, people are going to show up to Worcester FC versus Hanwell or something in the FA Cup.
Yeah, something random. Yeah. Do I have any Chelmsford specific?
No, just in general, like notable moments that you can remember, early days of kind of being in football.
I can think of some very, very miserable ones. Specifically, 2008 Middlesbrough. That was, I think it was 8-1. That was miserable. The 2012-13 FA Cup loss to Wigan seems to, because oddly enough, they then went and got relegated the same season. So that was a bit, a tad bit painful. Chelsea loss was obviously the Champions League final. What else? Christ. I mean, every game against Tottenham, that's just miserable.
Yeah, you guys have a nightmare every single time. No matter the manager, you guys seem to have an absolute shocker.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. One of recent memory, I think it was 2020 when we got pumped by Leicester in the rain. 5-2.
Yeah.
I think the problem with that is it's just Jamie Vardy, and I love him, and I think I mean, obviously there have been some positives. Watching my team win the treble. Getting. I mean, whatever you say about City, however they've done it, I've seen my team win everything. So I think if I minus City, probably, unfortunately it didn't end well, but that playoff game against Braintree,
God, yeah.
Regardless of the result, that atmosphere was
Banging day. It just till to this day the best non-league limbs I've ever seen.
Oh, it was insane
when a goal went in. It was
Yeah,
unbelievable. If you
too
haven't seen
late
it,
as well.
oh god, yeah, literally last like 10 minutes, come back
Yeah.
2-0 down, 2-2. The limbs, and honestly, if you haven't seen it, go on Twitter or Instagram or something like that, and find it. The game was all filmed and all that because it was obviously
Oh, it was
playoff.
great.
But yeah, the
Yeah.
limbs were unbelievable. Yeah, obviously bad result, but at the end of the day, we were the second best team.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we decided to wait till the 80th minute to actually do anything. So,
Yep. Pretty much. But we've got a totally new squad nowadays, totally new management, new ownership as well.
Yes.
Yeah, I was there yesterday. It didn't go well at all. Absolutely pumped. Just too many errors. But it's early days, as people were saying there, and I've seen a few posts on it. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
True.
So I'm sure we'll be okay. So yeah, obviously notable things that we've obviously done. You kind of know a bit about us, and this first episode really is going to be a kind of who we are, what we're doing, why we're here, and why you're listening to us. So yeah, I think planning going forward. Obviously, there's a few things I want to talk about past this today. But I guess going forward, what you can expect from us is realistically, it's going to be covering the football pyramid. From we're not obviously going to go complete top to bottom. I'm not going to sit here talking about like Essex Olympia League amateur games, but from Premier League down to realistically anything that's notable that's going on in non-league, and then some European stuff as well. So I've actually been watching a fair amount of Bundesliga so far. Fair play to Mark Goldbridge for managing to get that contract with YouTube and the Bundesliga over the line. Unreal that you can show games and stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
During watch-alongs, he beat out Sky, I believe, or there was someone. It might not have been Sky. It was one of the major kind of like football providers, and he ended up beating them out and getting the rights, which is unbelievable. So I've been watching a fair amount of Bundesliga. So that's happening. I haven't dabbled too much in Spain this year. I will do as we go on. I'm quite interested in how Rashford does at Barcelona.
Yeah.
I haven't seen much of it so far. The only thing I did see was him having a shot from about 50 yards out. It just went miles off. And obviously Madrid look good, as they always do. Italy is something I want to watch more of. I didn't watch enough of it last season. It's always been kind of like my second favourite top 5 league. I just think it's a bit more physical, and it's not as commercialised, which is again why I like Bundesliga, because of 50+1.
I think TNT are showing a lot of Serie A this year.
Yes, I do, yeah. So, yeah, I do like the Serie A. What I like about it as well is there's other winners too. It's not just like one or two teams. They tend to have 4 or 5 teams on rotation that kind of win that. So it's good to watch. So we'll be covering anything like that. Obviously, Europe, international football, anything like that. I do occasionally watch a bit of MLS, so I might throw some in, but probably not on a regular basis. It's not obviously the timing from where we are is a little bit off. The games are at like midnight, but obviously like Inter Miami are a pretty hot topic in just world football with some of the transfers they made, and obviously Messi.
Oh, crazy.
It's gonna be, but yeah. So I think. Do you have anything you want to add before we kind of move on to, I guess, what we want to talk about?
Not really. I think pretty much summed it up. I think, we're never gonna. Thing is, no, and I refuse to believe anyone watches every single game of football. So it's not like I'm gonna sit there and watch, whoever Leeds are playing next. But obviously, like you watch the highlights and you can have a chat about, whoever. And be honest, we're not going to realistically talk about every single championship game, every single League One, League Two.
No,
You know,
yeah,
just if anything, it'll be a broad overview of what's happening. You know, who's at the top, who's looking rough, who's looking relegated. You know, that kind of thing. So,
yep, yep. And I will do kind of at the beginning of the week games I'm actively going to watch. So from next week, I'm going to start doing that. Kind of what am I actually going to be actively keeping an eye on for next week? But yeah, so I think obviously first episode I know we're a few weeks into the main season now, but I think it's still early enough where we can sort of talk about this. So I've got a few questions for us, and to be fair, I haven't really prepped these either, so I wouldn't worry.
yeah,
It's going to be completely winging it. Just a few questions on kind of how we think the season's going to go, things you're looking forward to. So let's start off, I guess, Premier League predictions. Champions. I mean, I've got Liverpool. I think they look class above.
Yeah, it's got to be right. I think the money that they've spent and the signings they've bought in over the summer is incredible. I mean,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, it's a lot of money, but I think they are notorious for not spending a lot of money. I think the last, you know, obviously they spent 70 odd million on Van Dijk however many years ago, and then I think it was 90 million on Darwin Núñez, but that didn't work out. But historically, they don't spend a lot of money, so it's a surprise. But if the players can hit the ground running, I think, I mean, they've just got Isak over the line. So I just don't see how another club. I mean, Arsenal, I don't think are going to do it. I certainly don't think City are going to win it this year.
No.
I think, I'll be honest, I think if anyone's has a shout at the moment, I think it's Chelsea. I just think that they look good from what I've seen. They seem to, after the Club World Cup, they just seem to be cohesive, and you know, the João Pedro's firing. I think if anyone was going to come close, it'll be them. But yeah, I think Liverpool I'd be surprised if they didn't.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, so far, yeah, it's very rare that you see. I've just looked at it now. That they're almost 300 million net down on transfer, which is like unheard of for Liverpool. So yeah, 100. This is in euros, by the way. So obviously there will be slightly less in pounds, but 145 million for Isak in euros, 125 for Wirtz, 95 for Ekatike, coming up to 47 for Kirkes, 40 for Frimpong, and then for that 31 for the young lad from Parma, Leone. And then obviously they've got a bunch of players on loan and stuff. But yeah, I can't look past them. They've spent well. I mean, yeah, some of the signings are unbelievable. Ekatike looked really good in the first couple of games that I've seen from him. I haven't noticed Wirtz too much, but he will be good. He's obviously a very good player.
Yeah, I know, I agree. I mean, I think the only problem for Liverpool right now is that their defense, they don't look amazing defensively.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Kirkes naturally isn't a very defensive fullback, and neither is Frimpong. Van Dijk, obviously incredible player, but is getting on. You know, of course, it's natural. I think without Gravenberch, there's a lot of space in behind.
Vulnerable.
So I think that it's exploitable. But I said to someone yesterday, that it reminds me a little of Postecoglou in a sense of his game plan pretty much was to just outscore everyone. He had nothing else. I mean, obviously, I'm not saying that Liverpool are the exact same, but to me, it seems like let's just outscore everyone. Defensively, it's not as sound. But their firepower is insane. I mean, just gone the weekend against Arsenal, that free kick from Szoboszlai is
unbelievable.
I think the keeper should have saved it, but I mean, yeah.
Unreal goal.
It's crazy.
I think. Whilst Liverpool, you mentioned, obviously very offensive. I actually think that Slott's Liverpool are less offensive than Klopp's. I think
I agree.
Slott's is a lot more about constant pressure, and then break, and that's something they're very good at offensively. I mean, when
It's
you've
the
got
Dutch, isn't it? It's the Dutch way of playing, isn't it?
yeah, it's very overload, push, press, apply pressure everywhere, play a high line, and yeah, they've got slower defensive line these days, and they are getting caught out. But the scoring, I mean, you got the front four of it's going to be what Isak, Verts, Salah, and Ekatike potentially is a pretty nasty little front four.
filthy.
To add just not just them, the midfield's also very good as well when they've got everyone fit. So yeah, I can't look past them. So obviously we touched upon a couple of the other teams. For me, the remaining top four, I think Arsenal second. I do think Arsenal look good. They just need to get some players fit. Gyökeres, I know he's on the board now, but his first touch is a bit off. Maybe a little bit of sharpness.
To me,
yeah, but I think he will be good. It's a completely new league for him. It's I know he's played Championship before, but obviously not at top level. I still think they'll come second. I think they've got the quality, as you saw at Old Trafford. They I don't think Arsenal were very good at Old Trafford. And I think United were a bit unlucky, but Arsenal managed to grind out the result, and that's what good teams do. I still think City will come third. You've got a lot of quality still in that team, and there's been a few results like Brighton was a bit of a weird one. Haaland scoring goals. It's whether or not you can keep him. I guess Donnarumma.
I mean, I just want to touch on the Brighton game quickly. I think I've seen a lot of City fans sitting there complaining, and they're like, "Oh, it's the end of the season, call it off, etc., etc." Brighton were very good. So, and we are a victim of our own mistakes. I mean, the goal, I can't think who scored it. The last goal, it was John Stones giving the ball away. So, there was so much space in the middle. He was free, and then he goes round the keeper, and poor James Trafford. I mean, he's been incredible for Burnley. He was incredible for the Euros.
Oh yeah, he's not a Man City quality player.
Not yet. And I think he just looks out of his depth. And I think I would not be surprised if we fell to fourth. I think we'll probably still go into the next team, but for me, I agreed with you so far, but I'm concerned that defensively lets us down. And I think the amount of players that have gone out the door and the lack of players that have actually come in to replace them concerns me a little bit, which brings me on to my point. I think third for me will be Chelsea. I think they just look more cohesive as a team. I think their front, of Pedro Neto, João Pedro, even who's the young Brazilian lad that they've got on the right? Is it Estavio? I think it is. He looks something special. I mean, Caicedo and even Enzo Fernandez, who I initially said was £100 million worth of dross, has, I just see the potential that they are going to do something this season. I could be wrong. They could fall off because they did last year. If you remember, they were 1 point off the top.
And they did fall apart.
But yeah, I would say for me, third would be Chelsea, and then I think we'll be fourth. I think, and not happy with it, but I think I have to be realistic. I think.
Yeah, I think it's fair. I've got Chelsea fourth, possibly interchangeable. Chelsea. Esteval looks unbelievable. Born in 2007, by the way. That is weird. It's 10 years younger than me.
Does that make you feel old?
Yeah, it does a bit. But yeah, as you touched on, Pedro Neto, Pedro, Esteval, Liam Delap when he's back. Obviously, unfortunate for him. Garnacho as well.
Of course,
That's gone over. They have a very good front line. To be fair,
we're forgetting Raheem Sterling, mate. Don't forget.
Raheem Sterling?
Yeah, he's still there.
Is he?
Yeah.
I'm convinced he's gone somewhere else.
I think he's still there, mate. I don't think they got
He's
rid of
not
him.
named in their squad.
No, but he's still
don't
signed
think.
under the club.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah,
That's a massive fall off, you know.
Oh yeah, he obviously very good at City, but
I'm not saying that to dig him out or anything, because
but
when he played for City, he was
no,
incredible.
yeah,
But
he's very good.
he just I don't know.
Potentially the players around him obviously
Yeah.
helped, whereas Arsenal and Chelsea haven't necessarily had as good a quality on paper.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Chelsea City may be interchangeable. I just think
Yeah.
you guys will pull away a little bit towards the end. I think
You
your
normally do.
signing, Reinders, it looks really really good.
Oh, mate, yeah.
I think he's the best signing you've made.
Yeah, I agree.
Donnarumma obviously yet to be seen. It only happened like what was it this morning or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
With Edison going to was it Galatasaray or
Galatasaray.
something.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Same with
I think
as well.
yes, I did see that too. I'm not surprised. I to be honest, I was surprised when you even brought him back. He looked very slow in the games I saw from you last season.
It confused me because it's not a Pep thing to do. So I thought, because the rumor was that normally he was gonna, if he brought someone back, it means he's leaving, because this was before he signed his contract. So it was a strange one, but I mean, it goes without saying, as any fans, Gundogan is hands down probably one of the best players we've seen that have played for us. So but yeah.
Yeah, I think his time kind of came. His leg, he ain't got the legs to compete. I don't think at top level. So yeah, that's obviously top four. Relegation. Who have you got?
Oh, see, it kind of flips and flops for me a little bit, because I had Burnley going down. I think for me, I just can't see them staying up.
Yeah, agree.
And then I don't want to believe that all the teams that come up go down. I don't want to believe that. So I am gonna say, I think West Ham will go up.
Yep, also agree.
Even go as far as I think Wolves' time is up. I just think the problem is last season they had Cunha to feed Strand Larsen. I think he scored 13 goals. I think it was 12 or 13.
Yeah.
If João Gomez gets injured, they have got nothing.
They struggle
in that midfield to provide any creativity. Because I personally think Strand Larsen's a really good striker. But he requires a service. He had Cunha. He had João Gomez. Now he's only got Gomez. I just think they're going to struggle. I do really think.
Yeah. Agree, to be honest. I've got, West Ham look abs. I know they won 3-0, was it, the other day?
Yeah, against Forest.
But they look really bad. They just look bad all across the pitch. It's not looking good. And I think that 3-0 win to Nottingham was the exception, not the rule.
Yeah,
I don't think they just look really poor. And I would not be surprised if Potter is gone sort of Christmas time.
Well, I mean, the thing I've seen at the moment is, I mean, it's never going to happen, but obviously Mourinho being sacked from Fenerbahce, there's the rumour going around that they reckon that Mourinho could potentially go to either Forest or West Ham, because it looks like Nuno might be on his way out because of the relationship.
Yeah, it's a bit tenable at best.
See, I said this at work today, and I said it was Mavropanos, but that's the bloke that used to play defence.
He's a former player. Yeah,
but yeah, I think I don't see Graham Potter lasting till Christmas. I just think that is going to give him a bit of credit in the bank. 3-0 away to Forest is good, obviously at the City ground, but it doesn't paper over the cracks. It just
they look terrible.
Yeah,
I can't see it really going.
When you're bringing Callum Wilson on as your striker,
they don't look good.
No,
they really don't look good. So I'm in full agreement. Burnley, same. They almost picked up a result against United, but I know
Yeah,
that's
it's
hard.
close.
Grimsby can pick up results against United, so yeah, they don't look good again. I think they've got near enough Championship side, and Scott
Yeah,
Parker has done obviously a good job with what he's got, but
yeah,
I don't think they've got the quality. Not through like lack of trying. I just think they're just not simply not good enough.
no,
Um,
no.
as is the case with a lot of these teams that come up. And then yeah, I'm pondering with the last slot, not in any particular order, these two, but either Sunderland or Wolves. I think for me as well, Wolves. For last season, they kind of clinched staying up.
Hmm. Yeah.
But again, their squad, they've got some decent little players, as you said, Strand Larson, Huang Hee Chan,
Oh
obviously,
yeah, of course. Yeah.
um, is a good player. But like João Gomez when he's fit, but their midfield, just on paper, it's all right. It's not great, and
Yeah.
again the defense, none of them scream out to me that are amazing. I think they've just got a pretty weak side, and I could see it. And Sunderland, they've spent a hell of a lot of money. Um, they've got on paper, to be fair, they've not got a bad squad. I think it's just these sorts of seasons where a team that's just come up spends a lot of money either goes one way, they either surprise people, or they're going to go straight back down. And
Yeah.
I haven't decided yet. They've had a good start, but they haven't really. I don't think they've played anyone that hard yet, have they? Yeah, I
No.
mean Brentford, Burnley, and West Ham. So they played realistically three relegation contenders. Brentford are certainly another one that don't look
Mhm.
great.
Yeah,
Just they've
that's true.
lost too many like senior players, and
And their
I
manager.
don't know. Yeah. Obviously, manager's gone to Tottenham, and I did see. Also, did they lose Weiser? Did he go
Yes, he's gone to
somewhere in the
Newcastle.
end? Yeah,
Yeah.
that was it.
That's it.
So yeah, they've kind of lost all their players. Don't look
That's
great.
that's the problem with being sort of mid-table to lower end of end of the league is that a player has a good season and then they get taken by the bigger teams and then they struggle.
Yeah,
Because they'll get the money, but it's trying to attract players to go, the top players to try and go to, a Wolves obviously Wolves are a huge, like they're a big club. Like I'm not saying that they're not, but league standing means a lot, and unless you're Man
yeah,
United, I don't think it has the same sort of pull. I could be wrong, but someone says to you, "Do you want to go play for Man United?" Obviously, be call a spade a spade. They're crap right now, but it's still
yeah.
Man
It's still
United.
a massive club. Yeah,
Right? To play for Man United, to put the shirt of Man United on historically is massive. So, but you can't say the same for Brentford or I think you'd find it difficult to find someone that wants to play for like their dream is to play for Brentford, and that's not me disrespecting Brentford as an establishment, but
yeah.
it's hard for teams like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I know it's obviously Wolves are a sizable club, and I might upset any Wolves fans here. Would you go as far? Maybe not West Brom, but Birmingham and Villa, I would say, are bigger clubs than Wolves.
yeah, in
Within
the
the
north,
same city, or slightly but different, but within the same kind of area. Um, Birmingham questionable, maybe, but
well, they're only popular now because they, you know,
well, you have
with
Tom
Tom
Brady
Brady.
and that, but they've always been a sizable club.
Yeah,
And Villa 100% bigger. But so
I think
you
they're
have
also
got
lucky because they're the only club in Wolverhampton.
yeah.
That's-
But I guess you have got Villa, Birmingham next
No, of
door.
course, but it's to me it's like Burnley fans, right? Burnley's massive in Burnley because it's Burnley. Did you see what I'm trying to say? Like,
It's
you
actually
know,
quite funny with that. I used to work with a girl from Burnley,
right?
and funnily enough, she was a United fan, and the whole family were, which I'm sure is blasphemy over there. But yeah, her whole
That's
family were all
more than you
United
think.
fans. I think the only team that they absolutely hate is Blackburn because it's like right next
Mm,
door,
yeah,
kind of big rivals. I think a lot of that area is kind of engulfed by United and probably now City as well.
yeah.
Um, So yeah, you think kind of those areas would be, but often they do get engulfed, and I do think Wolves probably do fall into that category. The average attendance about 30K, so it's not bad by any
No,
stretch, but
no.
it's good. But like Birmingham were pulling that in like League One,
Yeah. Not
near
with Wayne
enough.
Rooney in charge, they weren't. But
No, absolutely not. But yeah, so yeah, I think we're pretty much in agreement with the types of teams.
yeah.
So who do you think is going to win a Golden Boot in let's do Prem?
Okay. I think I've got to back my boy, the robot, big man Erling Haaland. I think if he stays fit, I think it's got to be him, right? Salah doesn't look. I would have said Salah, but he doesn't at the moment. He signed his contract, doesn't he? He's on the beach. He's fine.
Yeah,
He does that, doesn't he? You've seen it where he signs a contract. He plays out of his mind. Like last season, Mohamed Salah was probably was the best player in the league.
100%. Yeah,
And then he signs his contract. I mean, it's 3 games, right? We can't sit there and go, "Oh, he's crap." But he misses a penalty against who did they play first game of the season? Whoever that was.
Bournemouth.
That's it. It. He doesn't look the same player. So I'm going to say Haaland. I don't think I need to explain myself any further. I'm going to back my boy. Although I say we're not going to win, I just think he's inevitable.
Yeah, I certainly. I think it's him. For me, I think it is going to be Haaland or Salah. Yeah, Salah's had a slightly quiet start, like 1 goal, 1 assist for his standards.
It's not bad, is it?
Then
But it's
Ekatike, 2 goals, 1 assist.
Yeah.
They've got other players as well. Whereas you guys, I think, rely on him for your goals. I think
Agreed.
Liverpool's are a bit more spread. I mean, Arsenal's this season already look a bit more spread as well. So I think realistically, Haaland is probably the shout, but I think Salah is also a solid choice.
Yeah.
Any sort of outsider pick, you'd probably be looking. I think João Pedro is a good shout.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Gyökeres,
Strand Larson.
Strand Larson, 10-goal wonder. Yeah, I think João Pedro coming in, he's done well already. 2 goals, 2 assists in the first games. I can't see it being anyone like Semenyo or someone in the Bournemouth.
What about Sesko?
No, I don't think anyone at United will get sort of top scorer. They don't create enough. That's too busy. The problem is, I mean, you'll often see games where they have about 25 shots, but they're all like 40 yards out, just absolute
Bruno Fernandes on the halfway line.
Yeah, it's just that's the problem. They don't create enough in the final third. So I don't think a United player under this kind of management anyway will ever get sort of close. So yeah, I think in agreement. In terms of I guess players necessarily last season that might not have had a great season, do you think we'll I guess have doesn't have to be just Prem if you can think of any outside, great. But do you think, or can you name any players that you think might have a good bounce back season or a kind of redemption season?
Oh, that is a very good question. I'm trying to think of clubs that didn't necessarily do very well, but normally do. You've stumped me there. That's a really good question.
Yeah, because I think I've got one.
Go on.
So I've got Jack Grealish. I think obviously he hasn't been favoured at Man City for a good couple of seasons now.
Yeah.
Utilised a lot more, I think, in the treble season, but since then
he was incredible for us at the treble
season. Yeah, he just fell out of favour. I think his move to Everton is certainly a gamble.
It's amazing. I think such a good.
It is a good move. I think it is a gamble for both parties. I think Everton, you've got a potential really good player there, but if it goes wrong, then I think it's a lot of money in wages. I'm not sure on the actual wage structure who's paying what percentage, but
no, I'm not sure.
It's still he's on a lot of money, and for him as well, because if it doesn't work, it's kind of it for him.
Where'd you go?
Yeah, but I do think Grealish, where he really shined in his career, was at Villa when he kind of was the guy. He had a lot more freedom. And I think he's going to relish that opportunity to be like, the main man at a club after struggling for minutes over the last couple of seasons. And with international becoming more prevalent, you've got the World Cup next season. I think he's going to want to get back to a good level. So I when I thought about it, I kind of thought of him. You can obviously name like Haaland didn't score 10,000 goals last season for him, but realistically, I wanted to name someone who's not necessarily playing at a top club or has struggled at top clubs.
Another one.
So another one you could name is probably Sancho, who's just gone to Villa,
that's true.
essentially. But I think Jack is probably the kind of answer for me.
Well, I want to put something to bed about Grealish because the problem. So people always say, "Oh, we ruined him. He was crap at City." Blah 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 blah. So he was at Aston Villa from 13 to 21. 185 appearances. He only scored 29 goals in that period of time, right?
Yeah.
So he's been with us since 2021. 94 appearances, 12 goals. So, it's not like he hasn't scored. I mean, he hasn't lit the world, set the world on fire at City. I mean, other than I would say the treble season he was in, we wouldn't have done it without him. But I hate this. That people go, oh, well, we ruined him. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't score. He doesn't do this. He wasn't a prolific goal scorer for Aston Villa. I know I'm going on a side tangent, but it just annoys me so much that everyone's like, Pep ruined him. Yes, okay, he's not the most creative player anymore, but he wasn't a huge goal scorer for Villa. So I've said my piece.
Yeah, he's always been a much more creative player, I think, than a goal scorer. And I think Everton, whether Moyes, I know Moyes is quite rigid in what he does. So whether or not he'll get the freedom to do that, like he did at Villa, is yet to be seen. And we will see.
From an England perspective, I'd like to see Rashford bounce back.
Yeah, 100%. That was certainly an honourable mention for me. That I'd like to see him do well. He's had a hard time at United. I think the club has not been good to him, and he absolutely needed a move away.
I agree.
And I'd like to see him because on his day he can be a very very good player. I just think he's lost it over the past couple of years through. Just not. I don't think his head's been there. But
what about anyone non-league? You're better off.
League.
Or even teams.
So team of Chelmsford. It'd be nice if they could bounce back. If I had to pick one that I think will, interestingly, I've got the opposite. So a team that were really good last season, who are doing absolutely shocking, and I think will really struggle, is Eastbourne. Just down the south coast, if you don't know, near kind of Brighton, Southampton way. They've got a hell of a lot of money. They're owned by a guy who works with, I can't remember if he's the host or if he created it. It's a show called Taskmaster, like a UK comedy sort of show.
Alex Horn.
Yes, that's him. He is one of the owners of Eastbourne Borough. They've got a lot of money, spent a hell of a lot of money, and they're really struggling. They will bounce back, though. They're too good of a team not to for the level. And Dagenham as well. Obviously, absolutely shocking season last year. Coming down from the National League, a lot of uncertainty with ownership, and they had that whole palaver with the Egyptian guy coming in as owner and essentially creating a massive stir in the fan base, which very quickly got removed. They had a lot of problems. And they've come in to this season very quietly signed, Andy Carroll, who is on holiday, by the way.
Yes, I saw that.
Last I saw, which,
taking it seriously then.
Yeah, because he got ownership stake. That was the annoying thing. Could have been a Chelmsford player, but he went Dagenham instead. Got offered ownership stake. What are you going to do? So, I think Dagenham will bounce back. They've had a horrid start to the National League South. Don't know if they've even won a game yet. They might have won one, potentially. But horrible start, but they will bounce back. Individual players, I don't know so far. Potentially one, and I can't remember for the life of me where he's gone. I'm going to have to look really quickly. But a player called Ken Charles, and my friend will know, how much I really rate this player. So he was at St Albans last year.
Mhm.
Absolute standout player that year, but St Albans got relegated. He was probably like the guy. He was kind of single-handedly doing his best to try and keep them up when the squad was just really bad. For no discernible reason as well, by the way. I know they've got a lot of kind of internal problems and the fans, there's like a lot of protests going on with the way the club's run, like charging crazy money for season tickets in step 3 of non-league. Their season tickets are like 380 quid or something at the start of the season. Yeah, for step 3 is unbelievable. So there's a lot of internal issues, and he's just gone to the Welsh League, funnily enough. Got offered a professional contract with, you would have heard of the team, they're called the New Saints. They are probably the only good team in the Welsh League these days. They've won it in the last, God knows how many years straight. They're pretty much the only Welsh team that ever get into European competition. And he's got a contract there, and I really liked him as a player. He was someone I really hoped Chelmsford would have looked at, but unfortunately we couldn't really compete with a team offering European football. So he's gone there, and I really hope he does bounce back, and I think he will. But that was just one notable. If you know, you know. A lot of people probably won't know who he is, but yeah, if you know, you know. But yeah, I think there's obviously one last question before we look to wrap up. Obviously, we touched on kind of teams that we think will struggle. I do want to just add, I think Villa will struggle this season. To that, you know, the window is now shut, isn't it? Deadline was the other day. So yeah, obviously Marcus Rashford and Asensio gave them a bit of a boost last season. Obviously gone. There's no cover for Ollie Watkins yet, really. And I don't think any of the signings, bar maybe Sancho, Harvey Elliott maybe now as well. I don't think any of the signings get consistent time. Lindelof, no.
I don't understand that.
Maybe.
Alex Miller's gone.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, he went to Girona, didn't he? Yeah. So yeah, I don't think any of them really get consistent
Emery
time.
didn't look happy, did he? From his last interview.
No, not at all. So you're really kind of relying on Amadou Onana and Morgan Rogers to step up. Whether or not they can, we'll see. Obviously, Leon Bailey went to Roma. As well, one of their better players, Jacob Ramsey, went to Newcastle. So I think they're going to struggle. But that was something I just wanted to add. I'm not saying relegation by any stretch, but
no, but I think they might drop out of Europe. I think.
I think so.
Positions are too hard for either now. I mean, you look at emergence of Crystal Palace, who are doing really well, and you know Newcastle, if they kick on with their two strikers now, you know it's getting harder and harder. And I think you're right. And I think as well, if they just last thing to add to it, if they lose Emery, I think they're in for a lot of trouble.
Going to struggle. Yeah. And then I think last question before we wrap up, a quick one that I'm just interested. I guess, what is your kind of pick for something you're outside of your own club? What are you looking forward to about this season? That can be a team, a player, anything like that. What are you looking forward to in the upcoming year that might not be kind of more mainstream, I guess?
Do you know what? I have, and I don't know why, I have an affinity towards West Brom. No idea why.
Okay, it's random.
No idea why. I just like them. So I've been sort of keeping an eye on their results, and I'd love to see them in the Prem next season. Whether it'll happen or not, they come close last season, but it just didn't happen. I think they just fell out of playoffs, I think, towards the end. If not, they got into playoffs and lost. I think they didn't quite make it.
No, I think.
Or alternatively, I'd love to see West Ham stay up and then Millwall come up just for the derby.
Yeah, that'd be tasty. That'd be tasty. Fun fact, I've actually done Millwall West Ham.
Yeah, that's
on a game. Went with my mate. He's a West Ham fan. Unbelievable.
I don't want to die at the age of 30. I'm good,
Yeah, it was something. But yeah, West Brom, they're doing very well so far.
Yes, they are indeed. So
there's all the chance.
I hope. I don't know why, but yeah, I just think.
I don't think they will.
They're second at the. I mean, admittedly, they're second, 4 points from. No, not 4 points. They've won
10
3,
points from
drawn
4.
1. So, we'll see.
Not scoring a lot though. I think it's a concern. No. They're not scoring a lot.
Yeah, it's been 1-0.
Yeah, it's. I think they're a little bit vulnerable to that when you've got the teams around them generally are scoring a lot more. I think they're gonna struggle later on into the season, but yeah, potentially could.
What about you?
So for me, I've got 2, and they're outside of the UK.
Okay.
One is Como in Italy. I kept an eye on them last season. My friend actually went to go see them, I believe, last season. I can't remember if he did that or changed to Bologna last second, or you might have seen they might have been the away team. And it's got me really interested. I kept my eye on them last season since Fabregas obviously got made manager there, and I'm not sure what's going to happen if and when. I say if and when because they will qualify for Europe at some stage. They're playing too good football at the moment not to. Whether or not the club financial control body, I think it is in over there, kind of come for them because they've spent a lot of money. And they're playing really good football. And they're just really, really fun to watch. To be honest, they kind of break the script. Italian, obviously, football is stereotypically very slow. And defensive minded, whereas these guys aren't at all. And they're just really fun to watch. They've signed some good players. Jesus Rodriguez from Betis, young lads, that Nicholas Kuhn from Celtic, and a couple of other young lads as well that have come in. One of your young lads, I think, that Perone guy, however it's pronounced.
Oh yeah, Maxime Perone.
Yeah, that Maximo Perone guy has gone there. And I think they're just really good fun to watch. So something I'm looking forward to keeping an eye on, especially since I want to, watch more Serie A this season. And I would also like to go and potentially do the ground at some point this season as well, before they potentially get hit with financial control, and then it falls apart or Cesc Fabregas moves. Really fun to watch. If you haven't had a chance, have a look at one of their games or watch some highlights. They play some really good football. And then a really quick one is also Monaco. I'm just really interested about how Pogba does.
Oh Christ, yeah, I forgot that,
because he's been out for a while. Apparently he has looked really good.
He's a good player, isn't he?
Yeah, I have heard he in training and stuff like that. He's been really motivated because he obviously it's his chance back in to football. So yeah, I think those are the 2 for me that I think I'm really keeping an eye on. Obviously Galatasaray have signed some big players. Sane.
We've now got 3 of our ex-players. So
yeah, obviously Osimhen as well. So they might be quite good. Keep an eye on them in Europe. But I think they're my main ones. Unless you've got something else to add, I think that about wraps us up.
Yeah, no, sounds good to me. Yeah, I think that's a good introduction. I hope.
Yeah, hopefully you kind of know a little bit more about us, who we are, and kind of what we like and what we don't like about football, and going forward what we can cover. Obviously, if you want us to cover anything, please feel free to drop a comment on whatever platform you're listening to. We are on Spotify, Apple. We've obviously got all the socials. We do have a YouTube. We might go into that at some stage. We'll see. Down the line. But if you want to obviously look at our socials, our Twitter is GTG_podcast. Instagram is at GTG.pod. And we have a TikTok as well. That is GTG podcast. Obviously the handles, we had to change them a bit, just because it's a long title name. But other than that, do you have anything you want to
add? Free my guys.
Good for me. Good for me. Nice one.
No, that's it. Cool. Good stuff.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Cheers, guys. Goodbye.
Nice one. See you later.